Hello, welcome to Shivjyoti Educational Group Kota online classes. Today we are going to deal with class 12th English Flamingo, chapter 3 Deep Water by William Douglas. This lecture is delivered by Pinky Saxena. Let's go for the introduction. In this story, Douglas talks about his fear of water and how he finally overcomes it with strong willpower, courage, hard work, and firm determination. Once he took courage, the fear vanished. That shows most of our fears are baseless. Fear creates dangers where there is none. The writer's experiences further confirm the proverbial truth: where there is a will, there is a way. Let's go for the characters and places. Here the main character of this chapter is William Douglas. He is the narrator of the story. The place is YMCA pool. This is a swimming pool which runs by Young Men's Christian Association. Yakima. Yakima is a US city located about 60 miles southeast of Mount Rainier in Washington. Let's go for the detailed explanation. The paragraph which I am going to explain is, it happened when I was 10 or 11, but I subdued my pride and did it. Here the writer narrates his experience. He was 10 or nearly even 11 years old when he had joined the YMCA swimming pool to learn swimming. He did not go to the Yakima River to swim as it was considered dangerous. This shows that he had a prior fear of water. William's mother would always warn him not to go near the Yakima River and would discuss the various incidents of drowning. He felt that the pool at YMCA was safer. The shallow area of the pool was only 2 or 3 feet deep, while the deep area was 9 feet in depth. The slope from the shallow area of the deep area was not steep. He also got a pair of water wings to prevent drowning. He did not like to wear the swimming costume which exposed his thin legs, but as he was keen to swim, he gave up his self-respect and wore it. The next paragraph is, from the beginning, however, I had an aversion till the water when the misadventure happened. Here William Douglas says that he had always disliked water and recounts an older experience. When he was 3 or 4 years old, he went to the beach in California with his father. They stood as a wave leaped towards them. William stuck to his father to save himself, but the strong wave threw him down and he was covered in water. He was scared as he could not breathe. His father laughed and tried to make him feel comfortable. But the little child was scared when he realized that the waves were so powerful. When William joined the swimming pool at the YMCA, the fear of water resurfaced in his mind. He gathered confidence by watching other boys swim and tried to copy them. He had done his twice or thrice at different occasions and had started gaining confidence. When the incident happened, he had a narrow escape from the death. Next paragraph is, I went to the pool when no one else was, till fled on it and paddled to the edge of the pool. Here William says that he reached the pool when no one was there, and so he sat on the edge waiting for other boys to arrive. He was afraid to swim all alone in the pool. As the swimming pool was empty, William could see the bottom also. It had white colored tiles on it and looked white and clean like a bathtub. It had not been long since William had been sitting by the pool when a boy arrived. He was around 18 years of age, had a well-built body with rippling muscles. He seemed to be a bully. He asked William if he wanted to be thrown into the pool. The boy picked William and threw him into the deep end of the swimming pool. William landed on the surface of the pool in the same position as he had been sitting in. His mouth was open, and as he did not know swimming, he swallowed water as he sank into the pool. He was very much frightened, but he used his intelligence and on his way down the pool planned to push himself up when he reached the bottom. He thought that he would make a big jump to the surface, lie on his back and swim to the edge of the pool. Next paragraph is, it seemed a long way down till bottom of the pool. William took a long time to reach the bottom of the pool. It seemed that the depth was 90 feet inside of 9 feet. Instead of 9 feet, he could not hold his breath and felt as if his lungs would burst. When his feet touched the bottom of the pool, he gathered all his strength and jumped upwards. He had thought that the next moment when he would come out of the pool, but the opposite happened. His movement upwards was slow, and when he opened his eyes, he saw water all around, which was yellowish in color. William got scared and tried to grab something, a rope which would help him reach the edge of the pool. But he got nothing other than water, because everywhere there was water. William was at a loss of breath. He tried to scream for help, but no sound came out of his mouth. His nose and eyes came out of the water, but his mouth remained in it. William waved his hand at the surface of the water for help, but he swallowed water and choked himself. He tried to pull his legs up, but they were very heavy and lifeless. He felt that something was pulling towards the depth of the pool. He screamed, but his voice did not go out of the water. Once again, William started going downwards the bottom of the pool. Next paragraph is, I struck at the water as I went down, till said that I was still alive. William tried to save himself from drowning in the pool and tried to grab something, but as there was water all around, he could not do so. He compares his situation to a person who sees a nightmare and fights against the dreadful dream, but is unable to ward it off. William was breathless. He felt pain in his lungs and his head felt a sensation of beating. He was getting unconscious, but he could recollect the plan to save himself. As his feet touched the bottom, he would take a leap and jump up to the surface in a jiffy. Then he would lie on his back, hit the stroke with his limbs and reach to the edge of the pool to safety. William sank into the pool and the journey downwards seemed endless. He opened his eyes. There was water all around. It had a yellowish glow and he could not see through it. This terrorized William. He says that his feeling cannot be explained, but it can only be understood by those who have experienced a similar situation. He was screaming in the water. He was unable to move due to the fear. His screams also froze. Only his heartbeat and the beating in his head indicated that he was alive. The next paragraph is, and then in the midst of the terror came, till tender arms like mothers, now I must go to sleep. In the between the phase of terror, William recollected the plan that he had to take a jump as he touched the bottom of the pool. Now here he says that as he felt the tiles of the bottom of the pool, his feet used all the strength he had and he jumped upwards. The effort went in vain. He was still submerged in the water. He looked around for help, for any rope, ladder or water wing with the help of which he could rescue himself. But Here he could only see water all around him. It was as if a chunk of yellow water had grabbed him. The terror grew intense. It was like an electric shock that ran through the whole body. He trembled with fright. He could neither move his limbs nor call out for help. Something strange happened at that time, and William saw light. His eyes came out of the water. His nose was almost out of it. Then he started going downwards into the pool for the third time. He tried to breathe but gulped water instead. The light went out as he drowned again. Then he stopped making efforts to save himself. William relaxed. His legs became lifeless and his brain experienced a blackout. The fear ended. He did not panic. He became quiet and experienced peace. He was not afraid of drowning anymore. He felt sleepy, was tired to jump up, felt nice to be carried in his mother's arms, as if he felt sleepy. Next paragraph. I crossed to oblivion and the curtain of life, till joy of canoeing, boating, and swimming. Now here William became unconscious as he drifted away towards the death. When William gained consciousness, he was lying on his stomach beside the pool and was vomiting. He heard someone scolding the boy who had pushed him into the pool. The voice said that William had almost died, and the boy replied that he was fooling with him. The voice asked the boy to carry William to the locker room. When William did not go to the swimming pool as he feared the water, he remained away from water. After some years, William came to know of a waterfall and wanted to go in it. Whenever he went for swimming in different rivers like the Teton, Bumping River, Warm Lake of the Goat Rocks, and the fear of the water returned. It would grab him completely, disable his limbs, and grab his heart. The fear of water remained with William as he grew up. On the boating trips to different lakes in the Mani region, New Hampshire, Dutchess, Metollis, Columbia, Bumping Lake, where he fished different varieties of fish, namely salmon, bass, and trout. The fear followed him. His fishing trips were destroyed as he did not enjoy boating and swimming due to fear. Next paragraph is, I used every way I knew to overcome this, till I could command them. Now here William tried to ward off the fear but was unable to get rid of it. Finally, in the month of October, he hired an instructor to teach him swimming. He would practice for an hour each day, 5 days a week. William describes the learning process. The instructor put a belt around William's waist. The belt was attached to a thick rope. The rope went through an overhead pulley and was held by the instructor. It ensured that in case William drowned, the instructor would pull him out. William swam across the length of the pool for several weeks. Whenever the instructor loosened the rope, he went down into the water and the fear would return. It would immobilize his legs. It was after 3 months of practice that William got comfortable. Then the instructor taught him to breathe in the water. He taught him to put his face under the water and exhale his breath. He was taught to raise his nose out of the water and inhale. William practiced several times. Gradually, he got rid of the panic that would grab him when he put his head under the water. Now, in the third phase of the learning process, the instructor taught William how to kick the water surface with his leg. Now, this he did for many weeks. Initially, his legs did not move, but gradually they relaxed and finally William could order them to kick in the desired way. Next paragraph. Thus, piece by piece, he built a swimmer till it fled and I swam on. Finally, the instructor made a swimmer out of William in phases. When William had perfected each phase, he compiled them. In the month of April, the instructor told William that he could swim. He asked him to dive into the pool and swim the length of the pool in a particular style called the crawl stroke. William swam, and the classes came to an end. William had not overcome the fear yet, and wondered if the terror would grab him when he would be alone in the water. He tried to swim alone in the pool. The terror returned in small phases, but now, as he knew how to swim, he faced the terror with confidence. He swam another length of the pool. William swam like this till the month of July, but was not satisfied. He wanted to be sure that all of the fear had left him. So he went to the Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire, dived into it from Trigger's Island, and swam for 2 miles up to Stamp Act Island. He swam in different styles: crawl, breaststroke, side stroke, and backstroke. The terror returned only once when he was in the middle of the lake. When he put his head under water, he saw water all around and the fear returned. This time, William laughed at the terror and said to it that it could not harm him. He saw that the terror vanished and he resumed swimming. Next paragraph is, yet I had residual doubts at my first opportunity till the peaks and to burst aside fear. Now, William still had some doubt about the fear, so he hurried towards the western direction. He went up the Teton, reached Conrod Meadows, walked up the Conrod Creek Trail to Maddie Glaciers. He camped at the meadow by the warm lake. The next morning, he wore the swimming costume and dived into the lake. He swam across it to the other end and returned just like the famous American Doug Corcoran used to do. William shouted with joy as he had overcome his fear. His voice resounded as the mountain peak named Gilbert Peak reverberated it. He had overcome the fear. The experience had a great importance in William's life. He realized that death was peaceful and only the fear of death was fearful. He recollects the word of one of the presidents of America, Roosevelt. Roosevelt had said that all we have to fear is fear itself. As William had experienced death and the fear of death, his desire to live grew immensely. He felt realized from fear and was free to walk up the trails and climb up the mountain fearlessly. So here we can say that where there is a will, there is a way. So this is the end of the chapter. Thank you very much.